ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama. Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball.
It is another beautiful day for Philippine basketball, and despite the heavy rain, we are present here inside the Orion Sports Complex for your MPBL Thursday. It is another triple header for us that will begin with LJ Gonzalez, who scored his season high in their previous outing versus the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Today he will take on the Muntinlupa Cagers, who are actually suffering a 5-game losing skid. Dave Borralde, though, has found his groove in their previous outing, scoring in double figures for the first time in 12 games for the Cagers. So can he step up against a very hungry Quezon Province team for today? Later on in our second game, it's Nueva Ecija going up against South Cotabato, and for our main event, the red-hot Bataan Risers will defend their home court against the Negros Muscovados. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mixed Comments at your service alongside Juanito Gregorio, and our courtside reporter is Andrea Endicio. Juanito, let's talk about perspectives here, beginning with yours. Well, what do you think about this current challenge that Quezon Province is going through?
Well, this is a wake-up call para dito sa Quezon Province. They are 2-5. The past 7 games after a very hot 16-0 to start the first 16 games. This is going to be a very good challenge before entering the playoffs. This is a good chance for them to be able to wake up and entering the playoffs. This is a new perspective and a new vision para dito sa Quezon Huskers that they are touchable here in this season.
Some people have told us that it's better for them to lose now instead of start losing in the playoffs. But more of these perspectives coming from Andrea Endicio, who before this game was able to talk to Coach Eric Gonzalez.
You know what, gentlemen, mukhang sumakto nga itong mga nakaraang maulang araw para makapag-usap at makapag-reflect itong kupunan ng Quezon regarding their past few games. At kwento nga sa akin ni Coach Eric Gonzalez, before their training started yesterday, tinanong niya daw ang kanyang kupunan, sino sa inyo ang nakakaramdam ng pressure at this point? And to his surprise, lahat daw ng kanyang mga players nagtaas ng kamay. Although alam naman natin that this kind of scenario is no alien to Coach Eric, alam niya na this can happen to any player or any team along the way in a season. Kaya naman, ibinalik daw niya yung kanyang dating ritual na kanyang one-on-one, heart-to-heart talk with his players to hopefully ease this pressure on their hearts. Migs, Coach Juanito.
That's definitely a good thing to have in a long MPBL season. And for a team that started 16-0, at some point, we all expected the pressure was going to catch up to them. Let's see how the Huskers can respond in today's outing, as now Juanito Gregorio will be breaking down our team standings. What's happening?
Well, look at the Northern Division. San Juan now all the way up to the number 1 position after winning against Pampanga and also winning against Parañaque the other day. We also look at Bataan right here, who will be playing today. They are on a 3-game winning streak, but they are already out of playoff contention. But of course, they want to be able to finish the season strong.
Bataan recently defeated these Huskers, who are now 18-5. They're number 2 for the first time in our campaign.
Well, you know, Quezon Huskers right now are number 2 in the standings. They are 1 game behind Zamboanga, but it's still going to be a very interesting end of the eliminations para sa Quezon and Zamboanga. On the other end, Muntinlupa is out of playoff contention, but this is a very young and hungry team, so it's going to be very interesting because Muntinlupa fights every ball game.
Today, they're going to fight the Quezon Huskers, who in the previous outing lost to the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. That's the second time this season that they have lost back-to-back games. Unfortunately, that defeat against Nueva Ecija came on their home court.
Well, you know, this was actually a home game para dito sa Quezon Huskers. Usually a team that plays better in their home court, but this was not the best ball game para dito sa Quezon Huskers. They lost by 13 points against Nueva Ecija. Nueva Ecija outpowering in every statistical way para dito sa kanilang team. They shot better at 44%. They made more threes. They were able to attack more and was more efficient on the free throw line. And they were able to get +9 points off turnovers. So in that game, Nueva Ecija, especially in the second half, was able to outpower itong Quezon Huskers.
I did ask Rodel Fuentes before this outing, why did you struggle versus the Rice Vanguards? And he said it's their mastery with their defense. Among the other categories that you mentioned, such a great performance by Nueva Ecija. As now, let's talk about that previous game of Muntinlupa.
Well, Muntinlupa versus Mindoro. This was actually a close game in the fourth quarter, but in the first quarter, Muntinlupa was able to lead big against Mindoro. We thought that was going to be a breakout game for the Cagers, but Mindoro all of a sudden was able to answer in the second and the third, and in the fourth quarter, it was an up and down battle between these two teams, but in the end, the veteran experience of Mindoro will be too much. You look at the numbers right here. A field goal percentage going the side of Mindoro. 3 points going the side of Mindoro as well. But free throw shooting, more for Mindoro, but more efficient para dito sa Muntinlupa. But rebounding, just too long, just too strong. Mindoro outpowering in that position.
You mentioned the veterans of Mindoro. Their young guns also came alive for them, including JJ Caspe, who has recently been selected as an all-star this coming Saturday in Zamboanga. So congratulations to him. But now the Cagers will look to bounce back. They're looking for the first win of their squad in 6 games. Let's turn you over to Miguel Perey.
First game. Time to meet our starters. First, for the Quezon Huskers. Starting at guard number 13, LJ Gonzalez. To guard number 2, Judel Fuentes. Starting at center number 24, RJ Minerva. Forward number 25, Al Tempsey. And the other forward number 77, Gab Banal. Their head coach is Eric Gonzalez. Assistant coaches Reggie Tixon, Nash Rosella, Ed De La Torre, Luis Nolasco, Jonathan De Guzman, and Bernard De Guia. Team manager is Attorney Don Capunan. Team owners are Governor Helen Tan, Congressman Mike Tan, and Mayor Ralph Lim. Now, the starting 5 for the Muntinlupa Cagers, Elberg Paramount. Starting at guard number 9, Jasper Cuevas. Also at guard number 24, Gabe Capascio. Coming in at center number 25, Ryan Arenal. Forward number 29, Jacob Galicia. And the other forward number 6, McCoy Marcos. The head coach for the Cagers is Mixon Ramos. Assistant coaches Alex Calwain, Jerry Andalion, and Noel Villapa. Team manager is Vince Harder. Team owners are Kaiser Galvez, Grace Galvez, Attorney James C.
We have our starting 5s brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Play Max, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. It's LJ Gonzalez with Jodel Fuentes, RJ Minerva, Francis Tanti, and Gab Banal. A small lineup for Quezon, taking on Jasper Cuevas, Gabe Capascio, RJ Arenal, Jacob Galicia, and McCoy Marcos for the Muntinlupa Cagers, who, by the way, will not have Alfred Flores today, so that's going to be a big challenge for them, especially at the guard position.
It'll be a very interesting game para dito sa Muntinlupa, usually relying heavily on the scoring of Alfred Flores, but a lot of guys can step up for the Cagers.
Flores is currently busy with ICC alongside Tutoy Ramirez, who will not be present for Bataan later on, as LJ Gonzalez starts us off with 2 points.
And that's a game plan of Quezon here in this ball game, to be able to run, to be able to put that ball on the floor. Very small lineup to start the game, putting RJ Minerva at that center position and Gab Banal at that 4. Looks like they will be switching everything from here point on.
Well, they did tell me before this game that there have been adjustments in terms of positioning since the loss of Will Gozo. But now with the addition of Al Francis Tamsi, you got to give him that small forward spot.
Yeah, exactly. The 3-and-D guy is back para dito sa Quezon Huskers and starting the game strong off that corner 3. Al Francis Tamsi making his name heard early on in the ball game.
Al Francis Tamsi shared to us that he's only at 80 to 90% in terms of game shape. Of course, there's that feel in the game that you would have to get used to once more after a long injury. That was a foot injury for him.
And we do know how important itong si Al Francis Tamsi is. Last season, he actually saved the Huskers a lot of times, especially in their home games. So in the clutch situations, dun talaga mga kailangan para dito kay Al Francis Tamsi.
Here he is once more from the corner. 1 out of 2 off of the basket by Gabe Capascio. It is 5-2. With a minute and a half gone by in the first quarter. Galicia now on to Cuevas. Jasper. This is RJ Arenal. 8 on the shot clock. Capascio. He drives. Capascio, not much space there. Tough shot. 2 on the shot clock. Another miss by Cuevas. And here's Fuentes. Cross court. Gonzalez ahead of the pack. Sorry miss for LJ.
Very rare miss para dito kay LJ Gonzalez, but right away, LJ Gonzalez is leaking out in that offense, so expect a lot of fast break opportunities para dito sa Huskers.
He has translated his aggression from the previous outing where he shot 14 times. That was his season high in their campaign. And he did tell me that it's partly because ginaganaan siya lalo pagkalaban ng Nueva Ecija, which as we know has been a contender in the MPBL for the past couple of seasons. But it's LJ's consistency as well in terms of just putting in everything that he can do day in and day out.
You know, at the end of the day, this guy is young. Itong si LJ Gonzalez, we know the skill, but still needs a little experience to be able to be consistent here in the league. Itong si LJ Gonzalez. But, you know, it's also very exciting that at this age, at this point of his career, he will be a starter in the All-Star this coming Saturday. So, very exciting times ahead para kay LJ.
More might need to come from him because JC Marcelino will not be present
Yes, that's right.
for the South in Zamboanga City.
That would have been exciting. JC plus LJ. Think of that speed.
Supposedly against the tall big men of the North. So we might be seeing a different strategy as Fuentes scores for Quezon.
Strong start para dito sa Quezon Huskers. They want to be able to change the story here. Usually a team that starts a little slow towards their past few games, but here looks like a different game plan para dito sa Huskers.
As much as we've argued that yes, they were 16-0 at the start of the season, there were a couple of wins that were just escapes for them, where LJ Gonzalez would bail them out, Jodel Fuentes as well, as Gabanal got the board and they will push. Tamsi onto Gonzalez, back to Francis. Tamsi, couple of dribbles, and it's a turnover. It's Jasper Cuevas. Pull up and the make.
Jasper Cuevas has to be able to step up here in this ball game. He is one of the few point guards para dito sa Muntinlupa. Without Alfred Flores, he needs to do extra in terms of scoring. Itong si Jasper Cuevas.
We might not be surprised if he ends up playing 30 minutes in this matchup as Gabanal misses on his putback. And here's Cuevas once more. Nice bounce. Galicia will score.
That's a good pass coming from Jasper Cuevas to a running Jacob Galicia. That early break really is to everyone's benefit if you are able to run your lane.
Galicia has been doing all these basic things for Muntinlupa in the past couple of games as Francis Stamsi makes yet another three-pointer.
Alf Francis Stamsi was here early shooting that ball from both sides of the court. So talagang minamaster niya itong venue na to, and so far so good para dito kay Alf Francis Stamsi.
There's the early work for the shooter himself who's looking to get back into his normal form. 6 on the shot clock for Muntinlupa. Cuevas going to Galicia, mid-range. That's good.
In the past few games para dito kay Jacob Galicia, he's been stepping up big time para dito sa Muntinlupa. He was in double digits in that last game with 14 points, one of the few guys in double digits para sa Muntinlupa.
He also had 10 points before that matchup, so that's an average of 12 in the last two outings. As Gabanal fires and misses. Rebound Tamsi. Francis bounced out and there's a loose ball foul.
The one thing I think that the Huskers needs to be able to do is to give the ball to Gabanal more often, and we saw that in that last possession.
Now, this fast break of the game is brought to you by SportsMax, followed by PlayMax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. 2 points for Jacob Galicia, but to your point about Gabanal getting the ball more, he only shot the ball 3 times versus Nueva Ecija. And if you think about it, he has been pretty efficient when he has the ball this season. He's actually number 8 in assist to turnover ratio. 85 assists to 18 turnovers before this game.
No, not long ago, Gabanal was the MVP of our league, and he has not really aged, but it's a team where there are a lot of ball handlers, there's a lot of shooters, there are a lot of guards. So hindi masyadong nabibigyan ng bola itong si Gabanal, but I do think going forward in the season, you have to be able to really extract the talent out of Gabanal, and that's going to be very, very crucial towards the end of our eliminations para dito Quezon Huskers.
Back in Season 2, where he was the MVP, the averages for Gabanal were 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, as now he just scored.
Gabanal, we actually see there that he is being trusted with that basketball, putting the ball on the floor off that fast break. Now they're going to go a little taller, putting Simon Sandagon in.
That's their usual starting center and the starting center of the South Division. As Sandagon was able to get that rejection, a man who has been rejuvenized ever since that all-star selection. Of course, yung confidence mo, angat naman talaga. But this guy has always had his confidence.
Gabanal and Simon Sandagon, 2 very crucial guys, but a little inconsistent towards the past 7 games. That's why they have been struggling. But going towards the playoffs, these 2 will be very, very important para these Huskers.
Turnover story, 4-1 so far in favor of Quezon, who's normally the third best in the league in taking care of that basketball. And as I say that, it is their second turnover.
And it's actually an unforced turnover. Medyo hindi lang nagkatagpo itong si Judel Fuentes and Nino Ibanez, giving that ball to the back of Nino Ibanez.
So the turnover will be on?
It's gonna be to the passer. It's gonna be on the passer.
On
Judel
Fuentes. Ibanez, by the way, at the start of the season was high usage for Bulacan. And that made him be a part of the top 10 in turnovers per game. Understandably so, as it is a turnover on the other end for Muntinlupa.
Usually a team that uses 20 to 24 seconds, but dito, medyo sumobra lang sa paggamit ng offense itong Muntinlupa, forcing that 24 seconds.
Pero itong 3-pointer na to, hindi sumobra para kay Francis Tamsi. His 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Tamsi in this game has 6 points, 2 out of 5 from downtown so far. This is Simon Sandagon, very aggressive.
So one thing you want to see from Simon Sandagon, here he is not just taller against the bigs of Muntinlupa. He is much more agile, he is much more athletic. So taking it strong is something they need to be able to utilize here in this game.
To start the season, he was mostly a defender, a rebounder for the Quezon Huskers. But since that All-Star selection, he's been happy because some plays have been drawn to his favor as well.
That's right.
Sandagon crashing hard for that board, and he picked up the foul from a cager.
One of the feel-good stories here in the MPBL. Going back to his UBAP days, he did not really get a lot of burn from Simon, but it's good to see that he is an all-star here in the MPBL.
Now let's go to our all-star courtside reporter, Andrea Indicio.
The assistant coaches of Muntinlupa are absent today due to their respective prior commitments, but thankfully, Coach Mixon Ramos, their head coach, is present for the Cagers. However, one of their main men, Alfred Flores, is also not present today because he's in Taiwan, also due to a different commitment. At hindi nga dyan nagtatapos ang challenge ng Cagers today. They actually arrived less than an hour before the game started. At kwento ni Coach Mixon, umalis ang bus nila ng Muntinlupa at 10 a.m. pa. Pero patigil-tigil daw sila dahil hindi na raw makita ng driver nila ang daan sa lakas ng ulan. At sabi nga ni Coach Mixon, this game is important, but of course their safety is important as well. Mix and Coach Juanito.
Did you also drive coming into Bataan?
No, I rode with the prod team. Sumakay ako with the production team, but yes, the rains are strong.
I wanted to confirm a theory with you because I also had a difficult time driving to Bataan today, but somehow driving with shades helped in terms of visibility.
Oh, yes.
And I would usually see you with shades coming into the venue. So would you say that that's an effective way?
It's for the sun kasi medyo meron akong sensitivity to glare. So it does, especially with the rain. Medyo weird yung visibility with this kind of the rain, but it's tama si Coach Mixon. Safety was really of top priority. I saw Dave Moralde post early on the way to Bataan. So it's a little weird that they were late to the venue. At sabi nga niya, patigil-tigil kami, Brad, kasi merong mga non-bis na so it's been an up and down weather the past 4 days. So we do hope the safety for everyone.
I'm gonna have to talk to the driver of Muntinlupa though. Maybe have a discussion about that shades conversation. But we are happy that everybody is safe. And now we shall proceed with under 2 minutes to go in the first frame. Bongay hands it off to Dave Moralde. Errol up top. Now on to Josh Ramirez. They lose time once more.
I like the game plan of Coach Eric towards this ball game. Switch everything. Make everybody possessionless on the defensive end. They don't care if it's big on a small. Basta everybody will be switching here. And so far, they've forced 2 24-second violations para dito sa Muntinlupa.
The 16-8, Nino Ibanez. What's he calling? Where will they go? He's left up top. An ISO for Nino. It's Jason Opiso. Signature shot.
Time and time again, Jason Opiso, with or without a defender, if he gets to that left or right corner on the mid-range, that's money para dito kay Jason.
It's good to see him back. He did miss a couple of games for the Huskers. Dave Moralde against Tomark Matiliano. Shot clock at 5. Bongay leans in. No good. Rebound, Ibanez. He could not send it forward as he was bothered by Demo.
Very slow start para dito sa Muntinlupa. Offensively, they have not been able to execute their usual sets. And gotta credit the defense of the Quezon Huskers early on here.
Muntinlupa hasn't been known for its offense all season long. They're dead last in scoring at 68 per game. They're also third to the last in field goal shooting at 38% efficiency. And even their three-point shooting, they're dead last in three-point attempts.
This is a team that really maximizes until the last option of their offense. Coach Mixon does not really want to rush on anything in their offense. So usually they use 20 to 22 seconds of their clock.
They have a timeout. It is 18-8 with 32 seconds to go in the first.
Mga kabasketball, handa na ba kayo? Makisaya ngayong September 7 sa Zamboanga City para sa 2024 Sikat MPBL All-Star Game. Iba ang sigla at laban sa Zamboanga. Suporta kita kung mga manlalaro MPBL, ang Liga ng Bayan. Basta Zamboanga, sikat.
This is actually our last day before we proceed to our All-Star Day this coming Saturday in Zamboanga. Simon Sadagon will be a part of the All-Star Game alongside LJ Gonzalez. Rodel Gravera will be a part of the Slam Dunk Contest. And Domark Matiliano will be a part of our three-point shootout. There's a lot of representatives for these Quezon Huskers. As for Muntinlupa, Warlo Batak will be a part of the Slam Dunk Contest. He's not present today here in Bataan. I think he's preparing for the dunk contest.
That's right. You know, I got to admit, Warlo Batak might be an underdog for that dunk contest. I've been watching him. I've been covering a lot of Muntinlupa games, and this is a guy that is very athletic. So I just might go Warlo Batak para sa dunk contest.
I have to say, though, it would have been nice to see him today because Batak actually is averaging 13 points in his last 3 outings, scoring in double figures in all of those games for the Cagers.
That's right. He's been playing well the past few games. Don't see Warlo Batak, so it's gonna be crucial because both Warlo Batak and Alfred Flores, who are big in their offense, are not present in this ball game, and we are seeing the problem para sa Muntinlupa. It's been their offense here early on.
We have 5 seconds to go before the end of one. It is a 10-point advantage for Topeng Nagrama and company as Nino Ibanez sits down. The All-Star Simon Sandagon is at the line. There you see his numbers, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 58% free throw shooting. He's looking different ever since being selected as a part of the All-Star squad, which is what you would want to see from your big man after all. 1 out of 2. Nice tap by Opiso. And there's the follow by Sandagon.
And that's legal. Once the ball hits the ring, you are allowed to be able to tap it in. And Simon Sandagon with the right action to be able to tip that in to extend the lead to 13.
21-8. This is the start that you wanted all along for these Quezon Huskers. As Juanito mentioned, they usually tend to get it going at the second half. And LJ Gonzalez and Rodel Fuentes did start off well.
And it's a good start para dito sa Quezon Huskers. You know how important this game is, and with that is the change of perspective in the first quarter. Start out strong, be able to control the ball game, and that is exactly how they were able to do it. Up 13 here in the first quarter.
Mukhang effective ang one-on-one talks ni Coach Eric Gonzalez so far with his squad. This first quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. There you see the numbers of the All-Star Center. Simon Sandagon versus Nueva Ecija had 10 points and 4 rebounds. Those 10 points were badly needed, by the way. because Del Fuentes only had 6 and Gab Banal was scoreless.
You know, Simon Sandagon, you know that he can battle it out with all the other bigs, but needs to be able to get it more often off the inside. A team that usually relies heavily on the outside, but Simon Sandagon, once given that ball inside, can battle it out against any bigs here in the MPBL. And Simon Sandagon, very, very crucial talent para dito sa Quezon Huskers.
He's being joined by Jason Opiso, Cyrus Torres, Topeng Nagrama, and Domark Matiliano as of this moment. Sandagon is 5 and 6 as his numbers. Sorry, miss there. And the ball was tapped away in favor of Muntinlupa.
A lot more actions para dito kay Simon Sandagon. But in the first quarter, you see the field goals. 8 of 21 para sa Quezon. Only 4 out of 15 for Muntinlupa. 6 less shots, a lot less efficient para dito sa Muntinlupa. They have to be able to find an answer on their offensive end here in the second quarter.
And it did not help that the Cagers had 5 turnovers in the first 10 minutes against the 2 of Quezon. This is Justin Alano pounding his way through, unable to score. This is Cyrus Torres. A three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Moralde. Here's Dimo calling out the play.
Dimo will be forced to play a lot of point guard here because of the absence of Alfred Flores.
He's actually matched up against Lagrama.
That's right.
Can we see him post up? But now he's going to attack from the outside. 4 on the shot clock. Ramirez will fire. Short. Rebound to Piso.
They're not able to get that ball inside. Itong Muntinlupa, Piso and Sandagon are both doing a terrific job in closing down on the inside against Muntinlupa.
Matiliano, that's his spot. Just too strong from the corner. Rebound by Sandagon. And there's the cleanup.
Too long, too strong. Simon Sandagon has been manning that inside the whole ball game long. Defensively, he is not allowing anyone to attack. Offensively, he has been getting a lot of offensive rebounds and been attacking strong against Muntinlupa. Everything working the way of Simon here in this ball game.
Sandagon now has a total of 7 points and 7 rebounds. So he has already surpassed his average in terms of boards per outing. And he's near his scoring average per game.
And he's only been playing for 6 minutes and 20 seconds. That is how efficient he has been playing here in this ball game.
It's pretty ironic because we've been arguing that Muntinlupa doesn't have enough guards, and yet it's the big man of Quezon who's been dominating. Capascio gives it up to Makoy Marcos. Now it's Jacob Galicia. Back to Makoy with 8 on the shot clock. Alley-oop, nice play. Sorry, miss for Dave. But Muntinlupa will keep possession.
Good intention galing dito kay Makoy Marcos. Kado lang malalim si Dave off that alley-oop. But the ball will stay for the Muntinlupa Cagers.
Jesse Saitanan now checks in. The veteran big man for these Huskers getting minutes. Of course, with their depleted rotation. Makoy Marcos. Screen by Arenal. Makoy pulls up. No good. Rebound of Piso. They go to Judel. The lead is 15. Fuentes leaning in. That's too easy.
It's a good attacking lane para dito kay Judel Fuentes. They were expecting a kick out to an open Topeng Lagrama. They closed out on Topeng, giving a lot of space para kay Judel to be able to attack.
Fuentes is 2 out of 4 now from the field, which is good because he was 2 out of 13 versus Nueva Ecija. Only 15% efficiency for him, and he normally shoots at a 40% clip.
Let's watch that again. Off the attack. Close down on Topeng in the corner. Late help galing kay Makoy. Able to attack is Judel Fuentes.
And he makes it look so basic for these Quezon Huskers as their leading scorer, averaging 12 per outing. Fuentes went down. It's a charge.
That's a charge. An accidental hit galing dito kay Gabe Capascio. Perfect defense. No space given to Judel. So no other option for Gabe than to create space via the shoulder and the elbow. That's a good call by the referee.
And good sportsmanship by Gabe Capascio.
This guy's number 30. I've been playing with him since high school. Been teammates with him in college. Not intentional, pero masakit yun.
Yeah.
Para kay Jodel. Sino man, kita mo, sorry agad si Gabe, di sinasadya eh.
And Fuentes is okay. He's up on his feet. Kaso, mabibigla ka rin talaga sa mga ganyang klaseng tamaan.
You know, that's a boxing hit on the right part of your jaw.
Opiso, back to Topeng, who fires. Lagrama scores.
You know, for the way he moves, everything looks so basic para dito kay Topeng. Parang napakadali ng basketball. And I think that is why he is a Quezon legend. Itong si Topeng Lagrama, because he makes everything look so easy.
Do you have a theory as an undersized player yourself?
Well, you know, as an undersized player, it's really something that we have to be able to add skill. We have to be able to add weapons. But Topeng Lagrama is the short guy. He is way better. The guy can really maximize on his short ability, and that is why he is such a great player here in the MPBL.
This three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. I thought that you were gonna explain na mababa yung base ninyo. So, mas mukhang simple yung mga dribbling skills.
I actually want to be able to just highlight on itong si Topeng Lagrama because, you know, as a short guy, it's so hard what he does. How the confidence he has, yung mas masaya siya pag matangkad yung kalaban. Usually, when for the short guys, we're a little pressured when, oh my God, this guy's tall. But Topeng, he enjoys it. He knows that he has more advantage because he's closer to the ground, as you were saying. And that's why even at his height, he has high usage here in the MPBL.
There's a miss by Tamsi, and we're back with Muntinlupa. They only have 8 points to show for. With 14 minutes gone by in this game. Nice feed. Cuevas was fouled.
It's a good back cut para dito kay Makoy. Para kay Jasper Cuevas. Those are actually the actions that Muntinlupa has been able to maximize on the whole season long. A lot of back cuts, a lot of back picks. But one guy who's been able to maximize on his skill, Judel Fuentes, off another step back. I think it's a step. Is it only 2 points para kay Judel?
Well, as per my vision, he stepped on the line. But the official tally is 30-9. Make it 30-10 off of those conversions by Jasper Cuevas.
4 of the 10 points of Muntinlupa coming from Jasper Cuevas.
I was about to say that with this 20-point deficit by the Cagers, obviously that's big. Their biggest loss was against South Cotabato. That's by 41 points, 103-62 at the start of this season. This is good pace for Quezon to surpass that.
Muntinlupa is usually a team that is able to battle it out against the other teams. But one thing that they're really struggling on this game is offense. And one of the reasons why they are struggling is because Alfred Flores and Warlo Batak, two guys who have heavy usage on their offensive end, are not playing here in today's ball game. And we are seeing that no one has been able to step up para dito sa Cagers early on in the game.
That's why they're 4 out of 20 from the field with 7 turnovers. As this free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. That's the first miss from the line for the Cagers, although all free throws have been taken by Jasper Cuevas. 86% efficiency. That's pretty high for our league.
That is pretty high.
He's now 3 out of 4. And the tally is 30-11. Here's the guy with a low base himself, Topeng Lagrama.
The 7 points all of a sudden para dito kay Topeng Lagrama. 2 3-pointers, 1 free throw.
And he was just given a lot of space then.
That's right.
In that previous sequence.
I think Topeng Lagrama is a guy that we have to be able to give a nickname to. Maybe one of these days, Mix, you are the guy to be able to be giving a good nickname. So kung anong ma-feel mo, I think that's gonna suit Topeng Lagrama very well.
And one thing's for sure, I'm not gonna force it.
Yes.
If it comes, then it will come. You never know. It might come to you. It might come to our courtside reporters as well. Although, that being said, I want to give a shout out to the MPBL production team. They've given us great storylines this season. Even our arena announcers who've given us some nicknames for a couple of players.
Dr. Fly, Don
Yeah.
Reverente.
There are some that might sound weird.
Pero may story behind.
May story behind them. As long as we have fun with it. That was a nice pass by Tamsi. Recovery for Quezon. Banal trying to shake off Galicia. Banal almost lost it. And it is a turnover.
Good defense by Muntinlupa. Be able to get a stop there off the one-on-one play.
Arenal. Oh, that could be chased. And it's going to be Topeng Lagrama on the recovery. Lagrama, 2 free throws.
A little miscommunication. Ryan Arenal wanted a cut for Gabe Capascio. Gabe Capascio wanted to get the ball outside. That will end a turnover. That will be 2 free throws para dito kay Topeng.
Let's go back to Andrea.
Coming from his recent heel surgery, Al Francis Tamsi shared to me na medyo nangangapapanga raw siya. Iba pa raw yung takbo niya. Kung yung kanan niya mabilis but his left foot where his surgery was performed is quite out of rhythm. In his own description nga, sabi niya parang ang bagal nung kaliwa kong paa, especially kapag mabilis yung laro. And this affects his overall feel daw of the court. Although he's trying to catch up for the past games that he's been playing, he knows na hindi raw magiging madali to get back to his usual play. Back to you guys.
So it's like he's dragging one leg.
And we do know that this guy continues to move. Al Francis Tamsi is very needed in that dribble drive because he's one guy that even without that basketball will always be moving. We saw that last year para sa Quezon. So we do hope that he gets his usual movement. Itong si Al Francis Tamsi.
35-11, Judel Fuentes. This is their starting unit on the floor. With Gonzalez, Tamsi, Minerva, and Banal joining the guy with the leather. Fuentes onto the corner. Tamsi fires. No good. Rebound to the Cagers. 3.5 minutes in the second. Galicia lost the ball. A good defensive sequence by LJ Gonzalez.
Good activity by LJ Gonzalez to be able to force that stop. Recovering. Could have been a fast break chance para sa Muntinlupa, but all the white shirts recovering back down to force that stop.
Del Gravera is now in the game. Let's hope that we can see a highlight from him. Maybe a preview of what he will show us this coming Saturday in the dunk contest. The scoring in this quarter is 14-3.
Very, very slow second quarter para dito sa Muntinlupa.
It has gotten even slower for them compared to their start. Gabanal trying to post up. 6 on the shot clock. Minerva, the pull-up. Off to the right. There's Del Gravera with some size.
Del Gravera, one of the guys that's been given a lot more opportunities this season para dito sa Quezon Huskers. I was talking to some of the coaching staff of Quezon. This was a guy that really worked on his ball handling. He was a big man entering the Quezon Huskers last season, but now he's played more on that 3 position. That is because that he has been working on his game.
Although now with the injuries to them, he might have to slide back onto that big man position. The good thing is may foundation na siya.
That's right. But you like the versatility nitong Quezon Huskers. Minerva is a guy that can play the 3-4-5 as well as Rodel Gravera as well as Gabanal, and all of these guys have size to be able to defend the bigs here in the league.
Minerva defended well. Recovery for Marcos. 2 minutes and 20. McCoy stops. The feed onto the wrong man, and here comes Quezon. Gonzalez was way too fast for everybody. To Del Fuentes, no good. Rebound LJ. He's left open at the corner. Too strong. Another offensive rebound. 7 on the shot clock. Fuentes pulls up. No good. Under 2 minutes before halftime. Josh Ramirez. On to Jasper Cuevas. Jasper is currently the leading scorer of Muntinlupa with 5. Marcos hasn't made his mark in this outing. And there's a foul called off the ball.
There's a hold on LJ Gonzalez for that denial. But still, only 3 points for Muntinlupa here the entirety of the second quarter. They've been holding that ball. They've been able to set up. They've been trying to execute, although they really could not get that ball inside. And you have to credit the game plan of Quezon and the scouting team. Talagang pinapahirapan sa loob itong Muntinlupa.
If Muntinlupa fails to score in the next 95 seconds, this could be a record in the MPBL with points scored in a quarter.
I think the lowest was 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken.
And by the way, it seems like the points have come from the line. The 3 free throws of
That's
Jasper
right.
Cuevas.
That is all from Jasper Cuevas. So still no field goal para dito sa Muntinlupa.
This is Bongay, unable to score. Rebound by Gravera. Marikina, by the way, has the record for least points scored in a game this season. That happened in Parañaque, less than 40. Ball went out of bounds.
Interesting 5 para dito sa Quezon Huskers. 3 FEU Tamaraws are all inside. So they want to be able to maximize on the comfort of these 3 together.
Turnover story, 11-6 in favor of Quezon. Points off of turnovers, 15-3. Kabigin, the homegrown, unable to score. And we're back with the Huskers. Matiliano kicking it out. Gonzalez, a lot of space. In and out. Nice recovery by the leading rebounder of Quezon.
That's already 9 second chance points para dito sa Quezon Huskers. They've been very active on the offensive rebounding. That is why they're getting a lot of second chance opportunities.
And this is what you'd want to see from RJ Minerva. Some dominance in the paint. Having transitioned onto that 5 spot. He got the steal. 5 seconds to go. Quezon has one last chance to score. Cyrus Torres, top of the key. That's a 3. And so, our halftime score is 42-11. And this might have just been a record performance for these Huskers with only 3 points given to Muntinlupa in the second quarter.
What defense played by the Huskers, but offensively, it's 3 guys that are doing the scoring load para dito sa Huskers. Tupeng Lagrama, Simon Sandagon, and Judel Fuentes, all making it happen para dito sa Quezon Huskers. But defensively, these guys have been on point, only forcing 3 points in the second quarter and no field goals para sa Muntinlupa.
This halftime score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. The stars have aligned, and now we are dead set for our MPBL All-Star Game.
Are you ready for more?
Pacquiao finally knocks down.
The Sound All-Star Executives.
The man you have all been waiting for. How many times have we seen that and it still doesn't get tiring to watch?
A love to himself. For the tie! Oh no! No! That is it!
3-point shootout champion, Orlan Wamar!
The crown will belong to the guy from the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Our champion is CJ Ganya. Boy Yakub from downtown and leaner, yes sir. The run, Serrano on the move, Serrano all the way.
Oh my goodness, there we go. That's our first dunk of the game. MPBL All-Star Game winner, the North All-Stars.
Mga kabasketball, handa na ba kayo? Makisaya ngayong September 7 sa Zamboanga City para sa 2024 Sikat MPBL All-Star Game. Iba ang sigla at laban sa Zamboanga. Suporta kita kung mga manlalaro MPBL, ang Liga ng Bayan. Basta Zamboanga, sikat.
Again, our All-Star Day will happen this coming Saturday in Zamboanga City, so stay tuned for that. But now we focus on Quezon versus Muntinlupa. It was a big-time defensive second quarter for the Huskers, only allowing Muntinlupa to score 3 points, all from the free throw line, courtesy of Jasper Cuevas.
You look at the numbers right here. Everything going the side of the Quezon Huskers. 39% on the field goals. They've shot 15 more attempts compared to Muntinlupa. Points of turnovers plus 15 para sa Quezon Huskers. They are controlling the rebound. And of course, it is all because they started out strong with their fast break opportunities. 8 fast break points para dito sa Quezon Huskers.
By the way, the 3 points in one quarter is the MPBL record for least amount of points scored by a team in a frame. And obviously, the 0 field goals would also make it to the history books. So it's very unfortunate for the Cagers, but they still have 2 quarters to try to pull off a miracle here in Bataan. As now we take a look at the leading scorers of Quezon, Topeng Nagrama, as basic as he has looked like once again in the MPBL. 8 points and 7 points as well from Simon Sandagon to go alongside his 7 rebounds. On the other end, we even have just 3 scores for Muntinlupa. 5, 4, and 2 for Cuevas, Galicia, and Capasio respectively. I asked Coach Mixon how was the locker room, and he said, well, obviously, we weren't too happy about it, but Dave Moralde had some words for his teammates, so that could help out in the second half. Let's go to Andrea Indicio.
With the kind of first half performance na ipinakita ng Cagers, ang nabanggit nga ni Coach Mixon Ramos, sila na lang din ang tumatalo sa sarili nila. At this point daw of the league, dapat wala ng pressure on their end, but seems like minamadali daw nila ang kanilang bawat movements. And to add to Coach Mixon's point, kaya daw hindi nila na-execute ng tama ang kanilang mga plays is because hindi rin daw tama ang kanilang screens. And to add to that, additionally, sinabi nga ni Coach Alex Calueng, who found his way para makahabol in this game, they need to play more as a team and not for the names at the back of their jerseys. Back to you guys.
There you have it, Juanito. The basics, including the screens, and we all know how important they are.
Oh, not just the screen. It's the way that Coach Mixon implements the screens. A lot of on-ball screens, a lot of back screens, a lot of screens for the shooters. Kung walang tatama, then the whole system of Muntinlupa will be off. But seems like they've corrected this, and Ramirez will be getting his first 3 here in the third quarter.
So those are the first couple of points of Muntinlupa since halfway done in the second frame. As Rodel Fuentes immediately answers back. He now has 8. Fuentes is 4 out of 8 from the field. Very high at 50% efficiency for him.
And what's impressive is that he is not forcing any of his shots here. He's playing it simple, he's playing it calm, but still he is very efficient here in this ball game.
4 on the shot clock. Bongay was fouled. So that's 2 free throws for him. So at least we're seeing the improvements already.
Yes, that's right.
Offensively for Muntinlupa.
What I like, they're being a little bit more creative. Usually, walang post action ang Muntinlupa. Usually, the post guy is a passer. But here, Errol Bongay is taking it hard on the post, trying to get buckets of the post game.
Bongay is an intelligent player after all. He's already an assistant coach to Rizal University, kung saan din nanggaling si Coach Alex Calweng. Kaya naman ay nahuli siya sa biyahe papuntang Bataan. Although he's familiar with this territory because he used to be the coach of Bataan last year.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. He was the head coach for some time of Bataan.
Little Bird told me that Coach Alex Calweng had to organize something related to the collegiate team of JRU. Might not even just be related to their basketball team. So that's good to hear that he's, having more initiative for the school. Hindi naman natin kung gaano nakabisi si Coach Louis Gonzalez as Gabanal just scored for Quezon.
And that's actually the action we were talking about in the first half. Give Gabanal more actions, more opportunities to be able to put that ball on the floor. And now Gab is showing his drives once more.
This is Errol Bongay backing down. Hook shot, no good. Rebound to Alano, although he could not fully control it. So it's out of bounds in favor of Quezon. Now, display of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. Gabanal, one of the more efficient players that we have in the league, able to spin his way through for those 2 points. So scoring-wise, it's already a big plus for him. 4 points on 2 out of 4 shooting for Gab after his 0-point performance versus Nueva Ecija. Banaldo played well in terms of the other categories as he had 4 boards, 2 steals, and 2 blocks versus our Season 4 champions. 46-16. Banal gets the steal. That's his second in this game. Forward pass, Simon Sandagon with a throwdown.
And as Javi would say, Simon Slam Dagon. A guy who will continue to run, and given that space, he will be slamming that ball. Another highlight para dito kay Simon.
It's too easy already for him. It's his teammate who will be taking part of our dunk contest this coming Saturday after it was his turn last year. Para silang nagpalit kasi dapat daw si Rodel Gravera last year, and yet it was Sandagon who represented Quezon.
Substitute lang pala tong dalawang to.
48-16. Gabanal. Feed on to Simon. Sandagon bumped. Great body control. Rebound to Mahoy Marcos. This is Jasper Cuevas with the pull-up. No foul there. No basket as well. We have our fast break of the game brought to you by Sports Max, powered by this man, Simon Sandagon and Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. Simon Sandagon able to make Jason Opiso very happy at the sideline with that two-handed jam. Although Simon did tell me that he's not really too big on slam dunk contests because he's really more of an in-game dunker.
That's right. I was about to say, during the slam dunk contest, medyo mas exciting yung talagang mga in-game dunks ni Simon because he gets it off a rhythm and it really changes the pace of Quezon. So may impact talaga yung mga slam dunk nito ni Simon. That's why it's very, very important, his slams. But one guy making an impact today, Nino Ibanez.
Ibanez, statistically speaking, because he hasn't seen much action for Quezon, his stats are still high. He still is number 8 in scoring in the league at 15 per outing. Number 9 in steals at 2 per game, as Fuentes will get a steal and a breakaway layup. And Nino is also number 10 in field goal shooting percentage at 44%. The numbers that he built with Bulacan.
That's right. But Nino Ibanez, his strength is really his defense, and that is the main reason why Quezon is getting him towards the end of the season. But a guy who can step up and be able to contribute towards the latter part of the season is Nino Ibanez. So he's trying to get his rhythm off this game.
Quezon continuing with its dominance in this game. They have outscored Muntinlupa 10-5 so far in this frame. This fan of the game is brought to you by Jinky's Skin. There you have it, present here inside the Orion Sports Complex. Pwede na rin natin isama yung bata sa likod na busy sa kanyang iPad. Although I'm sure that they are enjoying the action here in Bataan. Later on, we present to you Nueva Ecija versus South Cotabato and Negros versus Bataan before we proceed to Zamboanga this coming Saturday for our executive game, 3-point shootout, slam dunk contest, and then the All-Star game, which will feature that guy, Simon Sandagon. Let's go to Andrea Endicio.
Talking about the heart-to-heart talk na nabanggit ni Coach Eric kanina, one player that Coach Eric can say he could easily connect to is Simon Sandagon. Simon proudly reminisced nga that he was among the players that Coach Eric reached out to personally to be in this team when they started last year. Because of that, moral responsibility daw for him to prove that Coach Eric made the right choice of choosing him. Syempre, andyan ang extra work, extra training, and jokingly, he said extra kain. He shared to me na he has always been someone who has a small appetite. Lagi raw siyang walang gana kumain even after a tiring game, but because he's been told na kailangan niyang pang magpalaki, ngayon daw he forces himself to eat whenever he can. More on protein, he can say nga raw that this is his best physique yet in his entire career. Bigs, Coach Juanito?
You know, I gotta say that he is in his best physique. Itong si Simon Sandagon, relatively on the thinner side last year, is easily pushed around, but he is a lot more stronger. You see the muscle build of Simon. And we gotta credit that he is putting in a lot of effort on the weights room and his nutrition. And props dito kay Simon.
I'm gonna try to maximize you being a conditioning coach once again. Isn't it that when you do a lot of weights and you don't eat enough, that eventually hindi na fat yung nababurn eh.
Yes.
Muscle na rin ang nababurn.
That is very right. So when you are working out, there's only up to a certain point where you're burning your carbohydrates and your fat. And pag sumobra na and wala ka ng muscle, wala ka ng food na mababurn, wala ka ng intake, it's usually the muscles where you're being burned. So rather than it's helping you, it's actually hurting you a lot more because you have to be able to use your muscles in these kinds of situations like sports.
Pretty ironic that you're lifting weights and you're not helping your muscles.
And it happens. It happens. A lot of guys are not really educated or doesn't really have that knowledge na magagamit.
Yeah.
Magagamit. That's why you actually see a lot of teams nowadays. They have a trainer, they have a nutritionist, they have a sports psychologist. Ganun nakalalim yung sports science nowadays. Quezon is one of those kinds of teams. They're able to get a lot of different guys to try and help the team, and they really want to be able to maximize on the science.
Let's hope that we can see progress in the body of Simon Sandagon moving forward, because as happy as they are with his physique right now, he still has to go up against the Greg Slaughters of the MPBL and even the Balti Baltazars. Kahit ngayong Pampanga, nakikita natin, lumalaki pa sila as the season goes by.
Lervin Flores is playing better. You know, teams like San Juan is able to battle it out. It's going to be a very, very interesting playoffs we have.
Justin Alano is now at the line. Muntinlupa has 18 points to show for in this game. He only had 3 in the second quarter with 0 field goals in that frame. But just so everybody knows, the lowest output in a game by a team was 28 points back in the playoffs of Season 3. That was by Zamboanga. It was a very weird game in the South Division. And in the season, the lowest was by Marikina, 38 against Caloocan. Under 4 minutes in the third, Jodel Fuentes against Gabe Capasio. They go to, apparently, Jesse Saitanan, who will back down with 5 on the shot clock. Jesse, hook shot, yes!
With all the teams that Jesse Saitanan was able to play for, we do know that he has a post game. It's not the usual action para dito sa Quezon Huskers, but if they can see that he has that advantage, they will be giving that ball to Jesse Saitanan.
Baseline drive, Tamayo had to kick it out. This is KB, Kevin Buenaflor, a veteran for Muntinlupa. 3 on the shot clock. Buenaflor feeding on to Gabe at the corner. Short, rebound Alano, and there's the cleanup. But it seems like it's 24 seconds first for the Cagers.
Mukhang hindi lang nag-hit yung buzzer. So the table officials are or pretty sure that it was a 24. Actually, when you're looking at the shot clock, nag-zero na before the buzzer sounded. Let's watch that again.
You can see it there.
There you go. It's already 0 before Gabe Capascio was able to get that shot off. But there was no buzzer that sounded. That's why the players kept on playing.
The official tally is 56-20. The two-pointer of Alano did not count. And here's Jason Opiso. Handoff to Topeng Lagrama. Back to Jason inside. Nice play.
I like that they're giving Saitanan a lot of burn here on the inside. It's a good pass. It's a good drop. Jesse Saitanan, 4 straight points.
If Simon Sandagon becomes hefty enough, he could actually emulate Jesse Saitanan's moves, especially in the interior.
That's a very interesting situation in their practices. Let's watch that play again. Off that back screen.
Nice.
Little high-low. Little high-low galing dito kay Jason Opiso. There was a switch by Muntinlupa that gave the advantage on the size para dito kay Jesse. It's a good find from Opiso.
That was assist number 15 for the Huskers against the 6 of the Cagers. Although Muntinlupa is second to the last in the league at 19 assists per game. This is still not on pace to at least be near it. As they tried to go for a dime, unfortunately, the ball was tapped away by Quezon. And so Muntinlupa has 9 seconds to work with.
Well, they're looking for that guy that can take this offense one-on-one. And that guy usually is Alfred Flores. In the end game, Alfred Flores is a guy that will be getting that basketball.
58-22. Lagrama hands it off. Here's Domark Matiliano onto Cyrus Torres. Screen by Opiso. Cyrus using it. They swing it over. Domark. Off the mark for him. And here's Cyrus Torres with an easier look. Another miss. Gabe Capascio on the other end. Stopped by Opiso. Tamayo will shoot. No good. And here's Jesse Saitanan, who had to wait for everybody. Lagrama leans in. Lagrama will score.
Once again, making basketball very easy. Topeng Lagrama, 3 versus 2. No one closing out. Short floater para kay Topeng.
Lagrama is the second player to reach double figures for Quezon. He's 3 out of 3 from the field. That was actually his first two-pointer. And now a charge is called on Jacob Galicia. That's 2 on Mr. Galicia. Tamayo will check out. Pass dito si RJ Arenal. And RJ Minerva on the other end will check in. 80 seconds before the end of the third. Torres goes to Opiso. Jason wanting to clear out. Opiso making a move. He shoots and he scores.
I don't know how you will defend Jason Opiso. He shoots the ball so high and also jumps so high. So it's so hard to defend the jump shot of Jason Opiso.
The lead now is 40. This is the biggest in the game. Capascio. On to Arenal. 2 on the shot clock. Pass inside. That's intercepted. And Quezon will run. Forward pass on to Domark Matiliano. Now I have to give you the biggest win of Quezon in the season. It was against Bicol. 115-86. That's by 29 points. So this is looking good for the Huskers. After all, they did have a wake-up call, having lost 5 out of their last 7 games, including losses versus 2 teams with losing records in Bataan and Mindoro.
I think Bataan was the bigger wake-up call para dito sa Quezon Huskers. That was a game where they were just not able to stop Mitchell Maynes. Whatever defender, whatever game plan, Mitchell Maynes was just scoring on them. And that is something that they need to be able to answer, because teams will be having a lot of talent entering the playoffs. You have guys from South Cotabato, from Batangas. These are very well-talented teams. So, kinailangan na ng Quezon magising and to be able to move forward from that game, especially that we are entering the latter part of our season.
There you see our VIPs, Kenneth Duremdes wearing pink today, alongside Emer Oreta, our head of basketball operations, and Rudy Distrito, our head of security. This is Topeng Lagrama. He continues to be perfect. 4 out of 4 from the field.
What a ball game. 13 points para dito kay Topeng Lagrama. And that's already the third triple for Topeng here in this ball game. No closeout. That's going to be too easy para dito kay Topeng.
Quezon scored 25 points in the third quarter against the 13 of Muntinlupa. And these highlights of the game are brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Simon Sandagon, Domark Matellano, Topeng Lagrama, all of these guys are stepping up, but just a beautiful ball game being played by Quezon Huskers here in this ball game. 67 points already, and we are just in 3 quarters. So a good ball game for Quezon Huskers. On the side of Muntinlupa, still a lot to be answered entering the fourth.
They only have 24 points so far. Again, the lowest this season was 38. The lowest in MPBL history was 28 back in Season 3. The third quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Presenting our Suzuki Muscular and Sporty fan of the game, just like the Avenus. Do more and achieve more with the Muscular and Sporty scooter from Suzuki. The Avenus, oras na para magmotor.
Of course, we are only in the first game here in Bataan, so if you are nearby, why not go and visit us here in this rainy Thursday afternoon and enjoy some beautiful basketball. We still have 2 more very important games, South Cotabato and Nueva Ecija in their second game, Bataan and Negros. As you look at our quarter scorings, every quarter, 21, 21, 25 para sa Quezon, all above 20 for Muntinlupa. On the other end, it's been an offensive struggle the whole ball game long. No points above 15 para sa Muntinlupa.
Although the 13 in the third is already progress for them as compared to their 0 field goals made in the second quarter. And that was the lowest scoring quarter by any team in MPBL history. As KB shoots, a miss by Buenaflor. Rebound to the smallest guy. Lagrama on the move. Cross court onto the former 3-point king. And that's good for Domark Matellano.
Domark Matellano now showing out as well in the ball game. 5 points para kay Domark, all in the second half. When you thought ubos na ang talento nitong Quezon Huskers, Domark Matellano all of a sudden is stepping up here in the second half.
I'm looking at the roster of Quezon. 14 players have played. All of them have scored. There's only one guy left who hasn't been inserted. That's Bryant Placino.
That's right.
Do you see him at their bench?
Yes, he is in the bench. He was actually warming up itong si Bryant Placino. So let's see if he will be getting a little burn here in this fourth quarter.
6 on the shot clock. Lagrama straight away again. He hasn't missed. Topeng Lagrama is 5 out of 5.
I don't think he has any plans on missing in today's ball game. Topeng Lagrama is red hot with 5 out of 5 from downtown.
That's actually 4 out of 4 from
4 out of
3-point
4.
area and 1 2-pointer with 16 points in total for the Quezon native as McCoy Marcos was fouled on the other end.
Quezon, 2 guys not playing today's ball game is Mayor Mark Alcala, as well as si itong kanilang point guard, si
Abundo.
There you
Alvin
go.
Abundo,
Alvin
one of
Abundo
their
is-
leaders. It's not a problem. After all, this is a deep team. Even Robin Ronya hasn't seen much action this season
Thomas
because of their
Torres
depth.
as well.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. McCoy Marcos able to convert. He's been relatively quiet. He's had a couple of stretches this season where he was scoring in double figures consistently for Muntinlupa. He averages 10 per outing. 73-28. Minerva tried to feed it onto Gravera. Ball tapped away by Muntinlupa.
It would have been a good layup para dito kay RJ Minerva, but just wanted that assist going to Rodel. The ball will go back para dito sa Quezon Huskers.
Minerva did grow as a player with Quezon Province. Before, he wasn't that much of a playmaker when he was still with NU. And there you go, right on cue. It's a dime by Minerva, finding the former Tamaraw.
You know, actually gotta credit three guys para dito sa Quezon Huskers. It's Sandagon, Minerva, and Gravera. Three guys who was not getting a lot of usage back in their collegiate days, but they were really handpicked by Coach Eric for them to be able to step up. And it did not take long for these guys to be able to show out here in the league. And they were really perfect para dito sa Quezon Huskers. Ito yung mga talagang hinahanap ni Coach Eric na types of players.
Gabanal able to convert with a three-pointer. He's actually number 6 in the league in three-point shooting percentage at 39%. Once upon a time, he led the PBA in that category. Bongay stripped. Good steal by Gab. That's his third in this game. Gravera on the move. Gravera with a slam. That's a preview for this coming Saturday.
And you see everybody excited on that Quezon bench. You know who they will be supporting come the slam dunk contest. And medyo nagpapakita-pakita na itong si Rodel Gravera.
It is now a 50-point game here in Bataan. 80-30. It's a steal by Lagrama. Topping in this game has a total of 3 steals to go alongside his 16 points. Again, he hasn't missed from the field. Banal going to Gravera. That's too easy.
One underrated skill of Gab Banal is his passing. We always talk about his skill. We always talk about his shooting. But Gab Banal is averaging 4.5 assists a ball game here in the league. And that's very high, especially for the wing position. So Gab Banal, a very, very skilled and complete player para sa Quezon.
He is second in his team in terms of assists, but there's only a 0.1 difference between him and LJ Gonzalez. We did see him average 6 assists in his MVP campaign with Bacoor City. But in this matchup versus Muntinlupa, his numbers are 9, 8, and 4, with a couple of steals as well. 3 steals, to be exact, for our former MVP. By the way, Brian Placino is about to check in for the first time. He's the last player off of that bench of Quezon. Everybody else has played and has scored. Halfway done in the fourth. Gabanal, nice seal. Sorry, missed. That's another board. And he's nearing a double-double.
Again, that's another good find galing dito kay RJ Minerva. He can really attract because of his mid-range game. And he is able to gather that defense and be able to look for anyone who is cutting. And that's a good cut and seal coming from Gab Banal.
By the way, Banal apparently tallied another board a while ago, so he officially has a double-double. As this is our play of the game brought to you by Suzuki. A one-handed jam by Rodel Gravera, who again will be a part of our slam dunk contest this coming Saturday in Zamboanga City. There's his teammate, our former slam dunk participant, in Simon Sandagon.
Just making everything more interesting come Saturday is Rodel Gravera. Telling the fans, hi guys, I'm here. I might not have been able to participate yet, but I'm here to battle it out against all of our participants.
That's an air ball for Kabigin. Muntinlupa is still at 30 points. They need 9 to surpass the season low of Marikina. Although they have already surpassed the output of Zamboanga as our lowest in MPBL history. Francis Tamsi, drive and feed. Gravera hesitated a lot there. And this is a 3 for Nino Ibanez, although he misfired. 4 minutes and change. The Cagers will be scoring their season low, obviously. Before this, their lowest was 55. And this should be their biggest defeat as well. Before this, it was minus 41 versus South Cotabato. Now they're down by 54.
In that kind of a ball game para dito sa Muntinlupa, even the last 2 shots coming from Ramirez are both wide open and good shots, but just could not get anything going in terms of their scoring.
Now, as we know, in basketball, if you're the player, if you're the coach, you will have no excuses. But for us as spectators, one can't help but feel for them, especially with the travel that they experienced. As mentioned to us by Andrea, na late silang dumating.
Yes.
Matagal-tagal silang nasa biyahe. Zero visibility para sa kanilang driver. Maraming stops just for them to safely get here.
And with the loss of a few players as well, Alfred Flores is not here, Warlo Batak is not here. So it's that kind of a day where just nothing going for your team. But we know, itong si Coach Mixon, a guy who does not want reasons, and babawi at babawi itong Muntinlupa. And we're sure that they want to end the season well, especially because they are very young, itong Cagers.
That's going to be a shot clock violation for Jasper Cuevas. He was late in attempting that hook shot. But just to be exact with our point, in terms of preparing for a game, hindi naman kasi basta-basta dumarating na lang
Yes.
yung player sa venue. Marami pang nagaganap dyan.
Hindi naman tayo ligang labas. It's not like you go to a venue 5 to 10 minutes before and be able to just play it out. We are in the pro levels. You want to be able to set a game plan. You want to be able to warm up. You want to be able to master the flooring in the court because we are playing in a lot of different venues. It's very important that you get the feel of the ring, of the floor, of the atmosphere here in the venue. And Muntinlupa was not able to get that because they arrived only 20 minutes to warm up. So medyo mabibitin itong Muntinlupa, and might be one of the reasons why they are not playing the same way itong Cagers here in the game.
Well, they're shooting at a 21% clip as compared to the 49% of Quezon, who on the other end, actually were already here in Bataan since yesterday. So in terms of getting the feel, nakuha talaga nila yan before this matchup as Nino Ibanez was fouled.
Actually, Quezon is on the other end. Takot sila na makancel because they've been here
Yes.
since yesterday. So, if the game gets canceled, parang masasayang yung buong travel nila dito. But,
Naging team bonding na lang.
oh,
Saitanan busting his way through. He was fouled. How about his aggression in this matchup?
as Coach Christian would say, masahe. Galing dito kay Jesse Saitanan, powering through even late here in the ball game.
Jesse does have 4 points to show for, 2 out of 2 from the field. But we're still waiting for Brian Placino to try to score. Here he is. Saitanan on to Bryant. And there you go. Everybody has now scored for the Quezon Huskers.
And there was a specific play just designed para dito kay Placino, and they were able to execute to perfection, making everybody getting some points here in this ball game.
These last 2 minutes are brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Muntinlupa has been scoreless for almost 6 minutes now. In this quarter, they have scored 6 points. Remember, they only had 3 in the second frame. Field goal story, 20% for the Cagers.
They're on pace to have the lowest scoring ball game of the entire season, only at 30, with only 1 and 26 remaining here in the game.
Ibanez will shoot. No good. Rebound by Bongay. And here's Jasper Cuevas. Jasper drives. 2 free throws for him. Remember, he had 3 in the second quarter. The lone points of Muntinlupa in that frame. Most of his points actually have come from the line. He only has 5 so far. At sa lagay na yan, si Jasper Cuevas na ang leading scorer ng Muntinlupa. Oh, check that. Galicia already has 6. So Jasper is the second.
Just looking at our statistics right here, your leading scorer is only at 6 points. So no one was able to step up in terms of offense para dito sa Muntinlupa. And this is something they have to be able to answer without Alfred Flores, who will be the next guy up for your team. Jasper Cuevas has that potential, was just not able to show out here in this ball game.
And that's another turnover for them. That makes it 23 turnovers for the Cagers. For context, Bataan averages the most turnovers, 16 per outing. They will be in action later on, although they have been red hot in their past couple of games, including a win here against Pangasinan. here inside the Orion Sports Complex, and then against the Quezon Huskers for their biggest in their campaign. They will take on Negros for our main event tonight, but before that, it's going to be South Cotabato versus Nueva Ecija. 40 seconds to go. Kabigin on to Bongay against Placino. Errol almost tripped. Unable to score. And here's Nino Ibanez. Nice cut by Rodel Gravera. And it's 2 jams for him in this game.
There's no stopping for this Quezon Huskers. Even up by as much as 56 points, they are still playing defense here to end the game.
88-31. Last 8 seconds. Ramirez in and out, and that should do it. This is the biggest win of the Quezon Huskers in their campaign by 57 points. And also, this would be the biggest loss of the Cagers, only scoring 31. A great defensive game for Quezon.
Complete game para dito sa Quezon Huskers. They played terrific defense. They were able to shoot the ball well from outside and the inside. They were able to execute, and they were able to maximize on everybody here in this game. But one guy we have to credit is Topeng Lagrama. That second and third quarter was very huge for them to be able to shy away and be able to really get that big lead and control the ball game.
He's our best player of the game, brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang daro. Lagrama would finish without a single miss. 5 out of 5. Talk about getting your feel on the court. It's 16 points in 16 minutes for the hometown hero of Quezon Province. His final score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX is 88-31 in favor of Quezon, who officially go back to the winning column. And it's 6 straight losses for the Cagers. Let's go to Andrea.
Thank you, Migs. Our daily fantasy best player of this game is Topeng Lagrama. First of all, congratulations, Topeng. After your heartbreaking losses, mabigat-bigat yung pagbawi na ginawa ng inyong team ngayong hapon. Lalo na ikaw, you remained perfect from the field. Wala kang miss at sinamahan mo pa ng 3 steals.
Ayun, yun na, kumuha lang kami ng Thank you sa panalo, Lord, Ayun, kumuha lang kami ng kompensa kasi galing kami sa talo Yun, in-enjoy lang namin yung game para sa sunod na game namin. Makuha din namin yung parang enjoy lang din kami sa game, yun lang.
And speaking of your next games, ang 3 sunod nyong makakalaban ay mabigat din with the Davao, Pampanga, and South Cotabato on the line. Na paano ba nakatulong itong larong ito para mas mabuild kayo lalo at paano kayo makakasiguro na madadala nyo yung ganitong klaseng performance na lahat kayo nakakascore in your next games?
Yun nga, yung next game namin, hindi yung pa yun hindi namin iniisip yun iniisip namin yung game ngayon, kung paano kayo mananalo, kung paano kayo magtutulungan sa loob, enjoy, ayun. Sigurado naman, madadala na namin sa next game namin.
Alright, Topeng, meron ka bang gustong batiin o pasalamatan?
Ayun, una-una, thank you Lord sa panalo Lord, walang na injury Lord, Ayun, nagpapasalamat kami sa management namin, sina Gob Elentan, Arditan, Kong Mike Tan, Doc Kim Tan, ayun, sa lahat ng family Tan, maraming salamat po sa suporta. Lalo-lalo na po sa mayor namin sa Lucena City, kay Kuya Mart Alcala, Vice Dondon, ayun, sa mga ninong ko, ayun, sa family ko, sa asawa ko, sa mga anak ko, ayun, salamat sa suporta. And then ayun, advance happy birthday nga po pala sa boss ko, kay Erlim Dala at kay Boss Mickey Gonsalvo, thank you. Shoutout pati kay kay Boss Sam Pineda, ayun, thank you, salamat.
Alright, thank you so much, kababayan. Once again, that is Topeng Lagrama, our best player of this game, brought to us by Daily Fantasy. Dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. Back to you, gentlemen.
It's an almost perfect game for Topeng Lagrama. He did see his field goal story, 5 out of 5, 2 out of 2 from the line as well, although he just had 1 turnover. That's it. That's the only flaw on his stat line. Congratulations to the Quezon Huskers for getting win number 19. And that's loss number 19 as well for the Muntinlupa Cagers. A great defensive game for Quezon Province. Thank you for joining us. For Juanito Gregorio and Andrea Endicio, my name is Mix Gomez. At magbabalik pa po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang Liga Bawat Pilipino.